call that one bad eviction. Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you letting me play. You the man, Dave. You the man.
Put you on some kind of channel.
Well, I've been trying to.
The
That's
world
why
is
I came
watching.
to Oregon.
You'll be famous.
That's right.
Yeah, I messed that last part up.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you for playing.
Missed it by a mile. Now we need a guitar amp out here, dude. That way we can rock the block.
Has that one got a plug? Yeah.
It's acoustic electric, so you can play it like this, or we can put
Yeah.
a little cord right here. And
Nice.
I got a nice couple amps, but they're in Ohio still. I'll get them out here eventually. Too much emotion in one place. And I feel every bit of it. It's hard to deal with, but I love all these people, so I just keep my patience and make sure nobody beats up another person. I guess it'd also be better if I had some words to some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful words. What's your take, Dave? Man.
Anything that comes to mind, given the circumstances?
Oh, so much comes to mind, but I'm trying to be polite and not say it all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never been one of the ACAB kind of people, you know. I realize that cops have a job, you know. The police force was actually hired by us to watch us. So, you know, we can't really like monstrasize all of these people, or however you say that. Not
Ostracize.
Yeah, ostracize. I mean, I feel like I got a job to do. My job is to stay alive, and his job is to make sure no one takes my life. And I respect that. But when it comes to me making a mistake, you know, the first step is to admit you made a mistake. Even if it's a minor traffic thing, you know, just realize you did something wrong and then move from there. Don't try to blame the cop because you have a heavy foot, you know. And definitely, just if you're not wanted for warrants and you're on the lam or something, just tell them who you are. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, that could save a lot of trouble. Someone not being so arrogant and, you know, just not wanting to budge for anyone else. And that's basically what it was. In one instance, I know personally, someone tried to deny them their ID because they thought they knew all the laws. Well, they still ended up in jail, and, you know, what'd you get? All you got was a waste of so many days because you wanted to try to be smarter than another person.
Now, did you get one of those flyers this morning?
Yeah. Yeah,
you have it right there. Is it that orange thing right there?
That's my eviction notice. I colored
Can you take a look at it real quick?
Oh yeah, man. The one thing I know about that law a little bit is they're supposed to have it secured to your door. When I woke up, it was on the ground, so I picked it up and put it up there.
So
gives us 24 hours. 24 hours.
Well, it says 9:28 at 7 a.m.
Yeah, today's the 27th, right? So they made it the 27th. We're gonna be out by the 28th.
Today's the 20th, my friend.
Oh, the 20th?
Yes, we got a little while.
Oh.
But
maybe I didn't understand the paper.
Yeah, what we're dealing with now is what have you heard that other people have said? If the cops don't do it, then they will.
Dealing with certain people and
people
and
who
their
didn't want you here.
You know, that is a big problem, and that was one of the first things we talked about. You know, once this got, because I've actually been here since before anyone decided to come here and stay. I was here when there was just it was just those two tents. It's the only two tents here. And, you know, a couple people sleeping under trees. And, you know, it just slowly, people started coming in, realizing why we was here, seeing what we was doing for everybody. And then, like, within 3 days, boom, there's 20 tents, there's 25 tents, and then now there's probably like 30 tents, 40 tents.
And so a mix of houseless people from around here and people affected by the fires.
And that's it. You know, the people that are affected by fires, you know, I've talked to a few of them, and they're just devastated. I mean, why wouldn't they be, for one? But now they're out here on the street. Some of them, they didn't have insurance. They didn't have family that they can call, like, hey, Mom, can I borrow 10 grand? My house just burnt down. You know, a lot of people don't have that, or the credit for that matter, to secure their place to stay. And, you know, this right here is like a godsend to me, because I got stuck here on a random event. I didn't have anything to do with the fires, but, you know, now I don't have nothing to worry about. I got people I know that are going to take care of me and not let somebody mug me in the middle of the night. And I got breakfast in the morning, and someone said this earlier, and I had to write it down because I'm going to make something out of it. But, you know, it's always nice to wake up with a cup of coffee and someone to smile at you. You know, that can change your whole day.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the best part about here is that there are people that are wanting to, you know, I would say tribe up, you know, get together and actually help one another. And then there's others that are just here because they need a place to go to, you know, do the things they do, that, you know, be it drugs or, I don't know, I guess just sleep all day. Some people are addicted to sleeping.
And this has been a good safe space for those people to recover from drugs too,
Well,
right?
there's been a few people detoxing, and they've been helped through it, and, you know, hopefully they stay in the right frame of mind. You know, I was addicted to heroin for 10 years, and it took everything I ever loved. Took everything from me. I went to prison and I got out, and I haven't touched it since. That was 2013. And now, every time I see someone struggling, especially with addiction, that would be the first person I jump to help, because they're the ones that need it the most. They're always one step out the door and never anyone there to help them. So, yeah, that's kind of where I stand right here, right now. That's why I build all this. That way I can just, my part is kind of like advertising. I'm advertising the struggle. And, if it takes me a couple hours building the shack and a couple hours playing music, then people's going to see eventually.
I've seen the evolution of this even just over the last day.
And that's what I was talking about. Like, it went from just a few people to more, and then we started getting people that are actually wanting to work, towards a common goal. All stick together, especially through the police trying to get everybody out. So it's pretty deep, man. I ain't no little baby, but I was crying the other night just because of all this stuff. It was too heavy. It was too heavy, and I started crying like a baby. And ever since then, I've just been working to do whatever I can. I'm an avid person for medical marijuana, and any person that's even come up to me with a headache has been given a joint and I hope you get better. Sometimes that's all I can do.
The music helps too.
It definitely does, especially being out here without electricity. I actually popped a string on my guitar. It's kind of out of commission right now, and thank God Dave brought one. So we always got music. That was one of the Grateful Dead's, more recognized quotes, I guess. Is that music can save you in any way. And it has me. I've been on the edge of just not wanting to continue. And a good song just bring me right back.
Yep. Thank you for your music, and thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, anytime.
And thanks everybody for watching. We're going to pause for now, but we might be back soon.
Cotton mouth. You want some gum?
No, only got one tooth. I love gums though. I overbrushed my enamel off. And she tried to stop me. She warned me, and I thought she just didn't let me have white teeth. And it crumbled.
I just had to get fillings for the first time.
First time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's really good.
I used to brush my teeth like 4 times a day.
Be careful not to brush off the enamel. I used to have porcelain white teeth, and I got good care of it.
My dentist asked me, do you drink a lot of coffee? I said it's okay.
There you go. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
It's good. It gives people time to see that we're live and sign on. So
Okay. We're live right now?
we're live right now.
Okay, I like to speak my little mind here. The little cells that I have left.
What's your name?
My name is Stone. I'm from the Confederate Salish and Kootenai Nation, Flathead Reservation. Now I'm here. But anyways, I like to discuss about our struggle, just to struggle. We have the fight starts up here with Trump administration and Biden, and then it works itself down. The fight works us down here to the homeless, and just because there are those that fell through the cracks of this capitalist way of life, circumstances and situations are ignored, and the people are just generally punished. And maybe they did a couple of slips, maybe they made a couple of mistakes, and it cost them all this. all what we're trying to do is survive. Be able to lay down and relax and to say, hey, yes, God bless America. This is freedom. Good thing I'm not in Russia. Wait a minute. I don't know how Russia feels like, but it's getting pretty cold around here. But, well, we have fights everywhere. And then we hear about the fight that's within us. There's a white dog, a black dog, a white horse, a black horse, a white stallion, black stallion, red stallion. No, it's Jesus Christ and it's Satan. That's the fight. And once we can just turn this around, you talk about a change. Okay, this is where the change has to begin. The heart. Once we let God govern our lives, surrender ourselves. I would like to say this, and I'm not preaching, but if you want maturity, our Lord Jesus came, and as a man, he taught us how to obey. And as the Son of Man, he taught us how to obey. As the Son of God, he gave us the power to obey. And because we don't have a spiritual life, there's no connection. The world means being disconnected from God. And this is what we're up against, the world. The fights here, fights in a relationship, fights in here. And once we get lined up, like Joseph said, who was with Mary, where Jesus was conceived, when he was working on his art, he said, you see this stick? You have to line it up. That's how your heart has to be with heaven. John the Baptist says, make a straight way, make a straight path. That's your heart. Make it diligently. Help me. Speak through me. And we don't do that enough. We don't lean, and I mean, we don't trust him enough to oversee our own understanding. I tried to say earlier, the European descendant government wouldn't have been established if they would have just kept submitted to the British rule. No, they said we have to stand. This is our life. And they fought for their life and they died. And this is happening here.
Can I ask you some
I
questions?
seen babies, I seen elderly, I seen paraplegic. Oh, in the freezing cold, a mom died with her little baby because of policies. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Continue. If you feel alright.
And they don't get it. This government never did truly understand.
Okay.
Joe Biden, he sounds like he gets it, because we're in a fight for our soul, and he needs to define that. They say the eyes are the windows to your soul, so when you look in a mirror, you see a reflection of your spirit looking back at you. And when we don't line ourselves up with God, what he tells us, he says we have an armor. He says there's the Beatitudes, there's the spiritual gifts, there's the spiritual gifts, and there's the spiritual blessings. And we don't live in that world. We live in a world that's lost. And what's going on right now is there's a lot of good people. How I say that, because there's families here, and there are those that are struggling to get back into their own place, get back into their own lives. You hear these stories, and I hear so many. I hear professionals architects, people that worked on boats, people that own their own businesses. This guy I met in Albuquerque, he owned 5 pizza parlors up in New York City. They're all homeless. I read in Proverbs, the world will hate the poor. That's why Jesus loved us so much. And if we could just do what he says to do, things will be a little bit more smoother, but I won't be sermon to you guys.
No, that plays a big role in what's going on here. Is that policies that allow women and children to freeze to death outside are nothing short of satanic. And
Yes.
that people don't realize that it.
Well, since he
part of
says satanic, the ruler of the world is Satan. Jesus, he's telling his disciples, I'm just making it really short. He's saying to his disciples, the ruler of the world is approaching, as he's explaining. And the ruler of the world, it wasn't Judas, it was the one that was inside him. And Satan became the ruler of the world. The world, if you read Reader's Digest, the book of the Bible, they wrote a book of the Bible, Reader's Digest, that's where I learned it. You read it yourself and you tell me what I missed. But yes, Satan is the ruler of the world. This is that in so many scriptures, but that's why everything's so messed up. This is government. This is what I used to say in my younger days when I started out. When on a reservation, I heard the fourth richest. Sure didn't seem like it to me though. But anyways, I said I was recovering from my first coma. I have cirrhosis of the liver. My ammonia levels was 1470, and I remember that tattooed. But anyways, there's this flag, and I was looking at it, and it was like the 911, and I'm thinking, I wasn't spiritual. I knew what Jesus Christ did, but it wasn't. I didn't have no spiritual insight about it. And what came to me was this: the flag. It was like a tail, and the stars were like badges when they turned. They're like badges. And the stripes were like bars. And I'm like, wow, that's the truth of it. And I've seen those images. They lock up the kids, the babies, and they're buying red bars and the badges. It's a police state. What was explained to me is going on in Denver. Yes, It's going on everywhere.
Yep. Well, let's talk a little bit more about what's going on here now.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear some of the things that you were speaking to the group about during the meeting yesterday too. Since you were talking about how we need media attention out here on what's going on, and so we have it now.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. Got me back on course. What's your name?
Phillip.
I was asking Phillip. If it was, plausible to get this request. As you know that one song, I'm Your Native Son? Well, I'm a native, and I'd like to be called a son. Brother, is that if you can look at what I'm about to say and know that what's going on here is going on everywhere, and in a lot of places they're just locked up, period. If we can come together and fight for our rights to exist, where else is there to go? FEMA camps? And it seems like that's the direction. And here we have children, we have parents working and trying to keep it together, making their appointments, and we're going through COVID-19, state's on fire, a lot of damages, and now they want to kick us out because of a few. And that's where I mean, everywhere there's always one that just has no boundaries, no rules, no respect. They don't even have respect for themselves because we all see the character of the person and they don't care. And these people are the ones that's taking us down and they want us out. And we're looking for solutions. We're looking for options. We're like saying, hey, wait a second. Person's over here is elderly. What is this person going to do? This person had nothing to do with what they're doing with. Person is making their appointments alone. I mean, getting off the hard ground. This person desperately needs to be in a psych ward. I mean, there is a great need here. And it's being covered by a few of their activity. And this place isn't organized to put down the rules to say, hey, ship in or ship out. And they know it. And
how does it function then?
Well, then you have to really, somebody has to care enough, not just somebody, some buddies, and talk to person, bring person to a meeting and say, look, we have options here for you. They need an intervention. And yes, we're not equipped. We don't have the intellect resources, but we can direct them into those who does have the resources and tell them, if you don't do this, then this isn't working, because this family over here really needs this place. And if we continue to behave erratically and we get pushed out, what's going to happen to them? Guess what? This person's not going to care. Because this person's not going to care. That person got all of them kicked out and all of them kicked out. And throughout the whole time, they lost all their sleep right before they got kicked out. Because right now, they stay up all night and they sleep all day. And it's really rough.
Will you tell us about your wife's heart medication?
And she takes 11 medications. All together at once because pharmacy.
What happened to the medications?
Pharmacy will say yes, or I didn't show up there to pick it. Somebody from Fred Meyer's sued them for these practices. It's her medications through Fred Meyer's. A choice. But telling her that she could. They're going to decide if they're going to pay, and she needs. I know her time is really short.
The medication, though.
For now, gosh dang it. From what insurance? No, ibuprofen.
Medication for her.
Oh, brain damage. Yeah. Pay.
Are being met.
To rest. I got ran over by a tow truck and pulled along. But anyways, I got ran over by a tow truck and pulled along. But anyways, and I mean, that is so comforting. Pavement is pull up to tell you to move on. Functional society. Like this. The families, the elderly.
If we had to leave, correct?
No, we don't. This moment in time, we have no other place to. When we did our first march, I nation a march, and it was like we did a march for a 10th in New Mexico and got endorsed. Because we're all going through the justifies and human decisions. We're going through addiction and all that. I mean, we're going through it all. Being able to and get connected. Without this, we're gonna go. See, after when they say we can't be in the city of Medford, and can't even be in a county. Out when you're gonna ticket, brutalize us. I mean, after you might have to brutalize. We simply have no place. And I'm asking us find a place to go, not only for us, all Americans. We're forgotten.
Like the local media.
We didn't speak to because if we could trust the person, and I mean this could a bad way because we got a bad report a couple addicts or people of the night sit normal lives and love God.
What do you want? What's
the most important thing that people is it's a gift. These got together the fires and they set this up for us. Houston, Texas, there's no place. People die on the streets. They bring us water. They bring us food.
Any of the other volunteers, because it seems different kinds of resources at times.
What I do, I just pretty much keep my hat down.
People who we
had lunch with.
They were across the street from the park.
I don't know.
I don't know who. Yeah, they people who stay here all the time. I don't know what group they are though.
Yes. But the gift. Village. They're keeping us nourished and with our medications and rest. This too, same like them. That's what I wanted.
Thank you, Stone.